Hey everybody, SmallTreeLeaf here, and today we're going to be repotting my small Chinese yew cuttings I took from my larger tree. So first let's start by removing all the dirt and the trees from the pot, using this tool to go along the edges and just wiggling it a little bit to kind of release the soil and kind of help get these plants out, and then kind of using it to scoop the dirt out just like this. Alright, so we're going to pull them out one by one here and see what we got. Ooh, that one's a hefty one. Okay, that one's looking really good. There's one. Can't get that piece out. Okay, there's one. And we're gonna fill up a cup of water here and place all of our trees in that while we are doing the other ones. It's important, you don't want the roots to dry out. Sorry about that, guys. Lost some of the camera footage there. But since the last time, we've taken all of the cuttings out of their pot and place them into some water, keep them nice and wet. And we're going to be doing a repotting of a group of all of them except one in this pot here, and one of them will go in here. It's my first time doing a grouping, so let's see how it turns out. Alright, so actually, let's set these pots up first. Let's put the wire mesh down. Throw in our mix on top. 1/3 academia, 1/3 pumice, 1/3 black lava. Go ahead, put that on top there. Nice thin layer, not too thick. Alright, that'll do. Let's grab a handful of dirt. Drop that on in. Let's get another half handful of dirt. Let's go ahead and put that on. Alright. Now we're gonna water the soil. Oh, yeah. Water the soil a little bit, just to get it all nice and wet. You don't want any dry soil when you're repotting. It'll damage your tree's roots. So let's get all that soil nice and wet. There we go. And we're just gonna pat that down. Alright. Now let's place our plants. So we have this guy here. This one, and these 4 little guys. So I think I'm gonna put this one inside of that pot. So we're gonna leave that one out. Now let's arrange all these. Now it's a tradition or a superstition or whatever you like to call it to have an odd number of bonsai trees in any grouping. So I'm going to be going with 5 here. And let's see what I want to do. We'll put the big one right here. Love that. Actually, we're also going to trim the roots on this because the roots are kind of wild. So we're going to snip that. Gonna kind of snip some of these ones going straight down. Oh, sorry, too high. Snip some of these going straight down and promote the ones going out to the side. Yeah, snip all that off. And we want these ones going out to the side. We'll get rid of some of the longer pieces. And that looks pretty good. So take all these roots out. There we go. And he's gonna go right here, I think. Get him a little hole going. There we go. Alright, and then this one, since it's the other tallest, I'm gonna put him over here. Prune up these roots real quick. And get rid of the ones going straight down. You want them going out to the side. So that looks pretty good. Alright, and we're gonna put him kinda not in a line, but a little bit behind it. Alright, I'm gonna go to this one. We're gonna snip that off. And I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna put him, he's a nice specimen. I'm gonna put him right here in the front. Oh, if I can get it to stay. Doesn't really want to go in there. Let's see. There we go. And for these two, let's trim this up real quick. There we go. That's good. Put him right here. And I'm gonna put this one right after I trim it up. Ooh, whoops, dropped it. All right, trim that up and put him kind of right here. So let's see, get these kind of situated in there. Don't want them in too deep of a hole. The pot's not super deep. So just kind of place them like this. Grab another handful of dirt. And kind of just place it on top here. Let's see. Try not to bury the plants as I go. Let's see. All right, there we go. So we're going to wet the soil, keep it all nice and wet, keep it all nice and moist. Move the other one to our water bucket. Fill up our cup of water. And we're going to very slowly pour the water onto the soil. Now, I'm not going to wire this because that would get really complicated with all the different trees in here. I'm just going to hope that when the roots grow, it solidifies the trees into place. And that is the best I can do. So we're going to go around here, get all the soil nice and wet. Alright, and as the water drains out the bottom, when all the soil is nice and wet, the water will just drain right out the bottom, and there'll be a lot of water coming out, so that's kind of what you want to see. So we're going to press down on all this, and then all the soil is nice and wet, and we're pressing down. Ooh, oops, pressed a little bit too hard there. We're going to press down to get rid of any air pockets below the soil. Mold can grow in air pockets and cause your plants to get root rot, and that's not good. That will easily kill your plant, so you want to avoid that. So pressing down in all these areas, and that's looking pretty good. Fill this up again. Put our other tree back in it. And there we go. Kind of clean up the edge there. And there's our little grouping. Could add some more in the back row here and move these up, but for now this is all the cuttings that I have, so this is what it's gonna do, and it looks pretty good. I also have a drainage tray to put under this. Awesome. Let's move on to the second one. Our work surface is a bit dirty, but that's okay. Clear a little space. And once again, we're gonna fill the bottom with some of our mix. Grab a handful and dump it on in. There's no drainage hole on this pot, so don't have to put any wire mesh down. It's about there. I might put a little bit more in there. Alright, I added another little handful. Now we're gonna start putting the soil in. Alright, now that all the soil is in there, again, we're gonna wanna get the soil nice and wet. Just gonna take our plant out here, take our water, kind of just dump it in there. Now for a pot that doesn't have drainage holes, the water is just gonna stay in there. So I'm gonna fill the pot nice and up with water. Get all these air bubbles. The air bubbles is good. It means all the air and air pockets are leaving and the soil is filling up with water. So once that's nice and wet and it doesn't seem there's any more air bubbles, I'm just gonna put my hand on it and kind of come over here and dump it out. Alright, now that I dumped out all of that extra water, soil is pretty low, so I'm going to add a little bit more soil in there. And because the soil is already still pretty wet, I'm just going to press down on this new soil I just added. I don't need to add any more water. There we go. Might add a little bit more. I only have a little bit of soil left, so I'm just gonna use the rest of what I have here. Every last bit. Alright, there we go. Press down on that nice and good. Let the moisture seep up. I have to add a little bit more water. Oh no, the moisture's coming up. Alright. There we go. Soil is all nice and moist. Just pat it down nice and good all around the edges. Alright, now gonna take our plant, gonna trim up the roots a little bit, just this tiny bit. This pot is nice and big and there's only one going in it, so I want kind of a lot of root growth going on here. Try to spread these out. Alright, so now I'm just gonna clean the pot up a little bit. It'll look a little bit nicer. It's pretty dirty after adding all that soil. Get the rim nice and clean. Just go around the side. Alright. My hands are also dirty, so it's spreading the dirt around, so that's good. Next, last step, poke a little hole in there. Place our last Podocarpus. Oh, we're gonna need a little bit bigger of a hole for this big old root ball. Place this right in there. Make sure all the roots are in there. Get this nice in the middle. And pack it down. Bring in some of this dirt along the side. Bring it to the middle. Make sure we're getting all those roots packed down. Pat it down nice and tight. And there we go. That is our last Podocarpus cutting, repotted to a nice little pot. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe down below. If you haven't already, check the link in the description to view my website, SmallTreeLeaf.com.